welcome to the first of our Builder Talent Trails for Decentraland 2025. We're live. We're live across the Decentraland socials. So if you're joining us for the first time and this has kind of popped up on your social feed, you can come along with us on this interactive tour within the social virtual world that is Decentraland. You can listen in on the socials, or better still, you can join us in world right now. So on the screen right, if you're watching, you can see that we are in Genesis Plaza right now. That's the main meeting point when you spawn into Decentraland. Go to decentraland.org, download the new Decentraland desktop client, and then just jump in. And you'll see there's a massive group of people all kind of joining us at Genesis Plaza right now to be part of Tour 1 of our Builder Talent Trail. This is an idea that came together to celebrate in time for Valentine's Day the amazing builders that are part of the creative community in Decentraland. If you've never been in Decentraland before, you might not know that everything that you see within Decentraland, outside of the spawn point that you can see here, is created by the incredible Decentraland community. So it's kind of user-generated content on a 3D immersive interactive scale. So if you want to explore with us today and get to know a little bit about Decentraland, the community, the amazing builders, the builds that have been selected to be part of an award, because we'll come to that in a few moments' time, you can join in with us now at 00 in Decentraland, jump into the plaza, and we're going to be going on a tour. If you'd like to kind of look ahead as to the builds we're going to be visiting, we're going to be going to 4 new locations and some old favorites that have been submitted as part of the talent trail. The maps are on the Decentraland socials, so either Decentraland Instagram or Decentraland on X. And we're joined today by some of the builders that have created the tours that we're going to be visiting. Also with us is VIP. Well, all of us in Decentraland are VIPs, but I should introduce Kim Courier, who is the Head of Marketing and Partnerships at Decentraland. Hi, Kim.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, Bay. I love when you say my name. It sounds so much nicer than when I say it. You have such a great accent on it. I feel very cool. But hi, everyone. Welcome. We're so excited to have our first Builder Trail. This is, as Bay will explain, part of our updated 2025 event strategy, and we can't wait to explore all these amazing scenes that the community has created. I think one of my favorite parts of Decentraland is that idea that you're all creating side by side. So being able to walk around and see these is just such a luxury. So I'm pumped to dive in. They didn't let myself go to some of the ones I haven't been to yet, so that I get to experience it as a first time in some of these builds today. And I got my Valentine's outfit ready. I got what do you call those things? I call it the headband, but you have a really fun name.
Got the European name. So yeah, if you're joining us, there's what we call a wearable dispenser in Genesis 00, when you jump into Decentraland. And we call them here in the UK dealy boppers. So
dealy boppers, I love it.
Dealy boppers. So pick up your Valentine's Day dealy boppers from the dispenser in Plaza. They will be dropped into your wallet as an NFT. Everything that you see right now being worn by our incredible community members is an NFT that you can collect in your wallets. If you're logging in with socials, that is a little wallet behind the scenes. So you have all your wearables ready to wear within Decentraland themselves. I'm going to be starting the tour in a few moments' time, but before we do, I want to say hey to everyone that maybe hasn't met me before. I'm Bay. I'm leading up the events over the next 12 months in Foundation. So if you want to get involved in anything that you see in the events program in the manifesto of Decentraland, head to decentraland.org/blog, and you'll see the manifesto there. That has a graphic with all the events that we're planning over the next 12 months. If there's something there that appeals to you and you think, yes, this is something I want to be involved in, hit the form in that blog and you will be connected with me. I organize calls with anyone that fills in that form to be interested in getting part of it. It's been one of the absolute pleasures of my job over the last few weeks, is talking to people about Fashion Week, getting lots of community members involved. So please do hit that form, be part of it. Okay, are we ready, Kim, to start?
We're ready. I have the blog up with all the coordinates. I am ready to roll. Let's do it.
I think before we do, I would love everybody that's joining us while everyone's gathering in Plaza right now, just to introduce yourselves, because we have some killer
VIP builders. Yeah.
with us in the live stream right now, Canessa, Risk, and Disco Cat. Disco Cat, we're going to jump to your build first. So do you want to say hey and explain how you got involved with Decentraland?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Disco is a real cat. Throughout my life, as I was growing up, we always had a lot of strays and rescue cats and dogs. And to be fully honest, Disco's not a rescue. It's a whole long story why I have him. But his heart is a rescue. And so we decided to create this brand of Disco Cat, and it's a real world as well. And it just started launching very recently. The website went live last week. The metaverse went live the week before that, and there's more things coming. So it's basically a mixture of cat culture with disco, a new spin on the disco era. I grew up in New York City. I'm currently in New York City. That's where I live. And I grew up sort of with my older family members with disco and mixed with disco and punk and early parts of rap and hip hop and that type of stuff. And so I just thought it was an interesting combination. And so I want to also stress that the whole concept is that we're going to give back to the animal shelters. So a certain percentage of any profit of anything on the metaverse and in the real world, and it's going to be ranging from merchandising. We're going to launch a vodka line, which is in process. And we're going to give back to any kind of some animal shelters that we're going to partner with to be named later as this gets launched. Living in New York City, my creative director is a fashion designer who's a good friend of mine for many years. On Friday, his fashion line is going to be part of the Fashion Week in New York City, where we're going to have a fashion show, and the actual Disco Cat's going to have a small portion of that. But as it starts becoming more and more, hopefully more and more popular, we're going to have more events. Since we were chosen on this final round, been contacted by a few people looking to promote in the space. As we go in there, you'll see this. The space has a sort of a disco / concert hall. So let me go get Disco. Give me a second.
You go get Disco. We're going to say hey to Canessa and Risk, and then we're going to go on our tour. Canessa, Risk, hey.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Thank you for having us all here today. Yeah, it's been interesting seeing everybody's builds come in. The Cantina was an inspiration from kind of the time I spent in Argentina and just wanting to have a place where it's always summer, because it was 1 degree Fahrenheit here this morning. So I just need someplace warm. And I have a slight obsession with palm trees. And so if you look at my camera reel on my phone, anytime I'm somewhere warm, I just have nothing but like pictures of palm trees. And so that was the inspiration that I had.
I can't wait to come and see it. I've held off like Kim. This is my first live visit to La Cantina. I'm very, very excited.
It's always so fun to go live with people, so I'm pumped to get there. Welcome, Canessa. Welcome, Disco Cat.
Risk, do you want to say hey before we start off and say who you are?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Like probably some people here know me. I've been here in Decentraland since many years, 2019, I guess, with Canessa. Canessa can remember me. And sorry today for some negative vibes. I think I have COVID, but it's fine.
Oh no.
The metaverse can't transfer the COVID. It's good. So yeah, been having fever for a couple of days, but all good today. So yeah, excited to see all those builds, and thanks everyone for coming. And nice cat, Disco Cat.
he decided he wanted to do something else.
Yeah.
All right, Bay, do you think we're ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Before, just a final point of notice before we set off. If you haven't already, you'll know that there is a social competition on this tour. So while you're walking around with us, take a picture of you and your dates, your best friend, whoever you've brought on the tour with you, and share it on socials. And our amazing Dana will be selecting some winners for our social competition, which is 200 mana in prizes. So it's definitely worth doing. Are we ready to start off? We're going to go, obviously, first Disco Cat. I have got my Disco Cat fit on. I'm not sure if we fully appreciated the majesty of my fiery Disco Cat. We are going
I
to be
love it.
jumping. We're going to be jumping to -35, 132. If you are new, all you need to do is we're going to be writing 135 in the chat box. So you write /go to, and then -35, comma, 132. I'm going to put mine as a quote so you can see it before we disappear. One of the reasons we're doing this as a tour is to show how all Decentraland venues are interlinked. Decentraland is an open social world. It means that we can walk between venues, but we're not going to walk from Genesis because it's a little bit of a trek to the top north side where Disco Cat Experiences starts. So we're going to do some walking a bit later, but we're going to head by teleport right now to -35, 132 to start our tour. So if you're with me in Genesis, we're going -35, 132. And you might see me looking across. I've got two screens going. So if I'm looking this way, I'm in world jumping around. If you want to leave any comments, questions, you can do so on any of the socials. And we see them popping up on our feed on this side. So, Kim, I'm loading in.
I am in here, and I just want to start with like, it's so fun when you load in to like have the music jump in right away. So really excited about that. So we'll see you all at -35, 132. I see everyone starting to jump in.
And Disco Cat, can you give us the live tour as we're walking into the venue right now? What can we see?
So this is the Disco Cat experience. This is I created a disco district on my estate, and this is the Disco Cat Vodka Lounge. So inside here is a club where I've been contacted, and I agree that we want to sort of have some concerts here, some live stream concerts. I've been working with a few people, or just initial discussions with some people on Decentraland that have done this. And right now there's only one song in there, but we're looking to put more songs. And I have one or two people in the music industry that I know that are interested in possibly having a live concert here also in the future. But we're going to start with a well-known person. I'm not going to reveal a name because I don't think it's public yet, although he's made comments online, working with him about doing a concert here one day. But the whole
all
idea.
The alpha, Disco Cat, all the alpha here.
What'd you say?
I said all the alpha here for the tour. We want to know who's coming. The alpha, like the sneak peek, who's coming. We love hearing that you're being able to bring someone in. So this dance floor, by the way, the lighting is so good. I love it. Just makes me happy coming in here.
So I want to give a shout out to Carlos, who is the builder, who's the programmer. We've been working together on the concept. I have an engineering degree, but I see this goes involved. I didn't know. Look, he's coming. The cat was here for a second. Anyway, so this is sort of it was my idea, obviously, my concept, and Carlos has definitely brought this to life and much more. So this is the dance floor, which is sort of inspired by Saturday Night Fever, obviously, in the disco dance floor. So I'll let Kim sort of say some stuff, or Bay make some comments if they like. You can see in the back is the social media sites and the website, discocat.com, which went live a few days ago. And right now it's functioning pretty well, but there may be some kinks still that have to be worked out.
So
I love this.
Yeah, loving the dance floor. I guess for me, Disco Cat, is it pure disco? Like, where's your music vibe going to be for the venue?
It's whole idea of a new spin on the disco era. So it's not going to be, there's a retro component, but it's not going to be not stuck, but it's not going to only focus on disco, meaning strictly the 70s disco music. If you've seen behind me, I have a Clash album frame behind me. So that's obviously not disco, but you know, obviously it's things morph and move along. So I'm open to all sort of music in general. I think as long as people are having fun and enjoying themselves, that's the important part. So it's kind of moving forward from the disco era. And if you see the screen over here, and it is a YouTube video that's 10 years old, but we tried finding the designer and we couldn't find it. So we do quote the designer, but it's really kind of a fun idea. The cats partying and dancing in the background.
I love how you described it as a feline paradise. It's just such a fun vibe in here. And I mean, what's Decentraland without a party? So that's the ultimate party floor.
Yeah, and then the idea is that we're eventually going to move into having skins with cats and stuff like that in there. But it's not just for cats; it's for everybody. You know, it's not going to be restricted to just people wearing cat outfits. But if you want to, more the merrier. That type of thing.
I think maybe you should do an exclusive cat event, to be honest, where we all have to be cats.
I have a feeling that
necessary.
I have a feeling people are going to want that.
I think it's going to be on the list. I should drop some more alpha, actually, if we're in the spirit of alpha dropping. If you have a look at the manifesto right now on the blog, decentraland.org/blog, we are planning a live music trail next month. So that's going to work in terms of an open call for any venue that wants to be part of that trail. There's going to be some awards and funding for venues to stream live music at the same day during a interactive trail in the spirit of what we're doing right now. So if you're watching this and thinking, I love Decentraland, I have a venue, I didn't feel like my venue would be part of a 3D challenge, build a talent trail, but it's something that I want to do next month and create a live performance or event within Decentraland, it's coming up. I think it's going to be, I'm not sure I can drop when the open call is going live, but it's on its way. So keep a lookout on the Decentraland socials for the open call for the live music trail. And Disco Cat, I would love to have your venue as part of that.
Yeah, I definitely am interested. I just need to get the proper people in line since I need people to help me do that and the musicians. So now there's a second part to the component here. If you're interested, it's just a gallery of people having fun. We can hang here a little bit more and look around. There's a bar in the background, and if you turn around, there's a bar in the background, and it has sort of that club feel, which I think is cute. You know, you can dance in the bar, you can socialize. The seats.
It's so fun. Thank you for building this and bringing it in. I know so many people hadn't been here yet, and so being able to showcase it. I know Shibu's in there saying, like, I love this build. This is so fun. We need to have a party here. So the comments are amazing. So kudos to you on this amazing build. Bay, are we moving on the trail?
We are moving.
One of the things is I would like, sort of the mission is to obviously have fun, but I do want. I'm not to push it too much, but I do want there to be sort of some philanthropy for cat shelters. And
I love that.
Helping, it doesn't have to be all of it, but part of it, even every little thing helps. So, if we have something of a fundraiser and you have to figure out how we do that on Decentraland and, getting across multiple countries and stuff like that. And I'd be open to my goal is that when the products are being sold, particularly the vodka in a certain market, that I'm going to pick a local shelter. So we can talk about that as we move forward.
Absolutely.
But I think philanthropy is important by people having fun, but also, every little thing helps. Even if everybody gives $1 and it's 200 people, it's $200. It can go towards, feeding a cat for a couple of weeks in a shelter, that type of stuff. And I think it'd be great.
Absolutely. Love adding the philanthropic component to all of this. So appreciate you building this and making a safe space for a cause you really care about.
And
thank you, Disco Cat.
If you want to see the back part, I'm not sure if I don't want to interrupt the party, but in the back spot, I don't know how much time we have for each build. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to take
the bar.
Yeah.
We've got the bar, and there's a back spot around the corner. Is that right?
Yeah.
There's a building, a second building.
Well,
outside.
Maybe we should ask people to come back. So we're going to jump to La Cantina now, but if we've got time, ask everyone to stay around at the end of this to check out the extra buildings and the Disco Cat experience. Awesome. La Cantina, are we ready? So we're going to be jumping now to minus 150, 95. So you can again put it in the chat box. So we're going to be going to minus 150, 95, and this is La Cantina. So I'm going to be jumping across now. I think Kim's going to be putting the link in to the chat if you're with us in world. If you are watching this across the socials and have just joined us, we are on the incredible Builder Talent Trail Tour. So what happened was that we had, well, an enormous amount. We had about 25 submissions from community members across Decentraland, looking at profiling some of the most interesting, most creative, the most immersive builds right now in Decentraland. Those went through in some incredible judges, including Dana and Nico E at Foundation. I never judge. I'm always just on the organizational side. And from that, we have something called the Community Choice Award. Voting is going to be opening on Discord if that's something you want to get involved in. So we're touring these builds. We're going to be touring them in 2 tours, one right now with the first 4 builds, one in 2 hours time with the second 4, and you can vote for your favorite on Decentraland Discord, and there are some excellent prizes to be awarded. So for the full details, check out the blog. If you are with us in World, we are about to enter a very beautiful space indeed. We have Canessa with us, the creator of La Cantina. Canessa, do you want to tell us what I'm going to be seeing as I enter into the build right now?
Yes, welcome. I mean, it's like inviting somebody into my home. So now I'm nervous. I'm hoping that I cleaned up the sand on the ground and that I, have everything in shape. So yeah, welcome to La Cantina. And this is, like I said, inspired by the community feel that I got when we were all in Argentina, and kind of the bright colors, I would say kind of the Spanish architecture of the arches, and a warm, someplace really warm. That was kind of the big part of it. And also just a place where the community could come together, share art, share music. I think that piece really stuck with me after being in Argentina, because you had a few days just to be with all these people you'd never seen before. They're your digital friends, and you get to give them physical hugs. And it really stuck with me. And I didn't bring my computer for safety reasons. And after the trip, I stayed with some non-DCL friends. And so I was like holed up in an apartment in Buenos Aires for 4 days with no computer. And all I had was my sketchbook. So that's when I started drawing pictures of like, okay, if I wanted to make a place that was really community driven, what would it look like? So at the time I had 1 parcel of land, so I was really trying to maximize what I could build on 1 parcel of land. And so it was really neat. I made about 4 different iterations, and every time it would kind of change and look different. And then this fall, I was lucky enough to get this property right on the beach. And so it actually, then in 2 months, I had to completely change everything, rebuild it. Instead of 1 piece, I had 15 parcels to work with, which was actually a pretty big challenge. It's wonderful to have that much land, but also a giant building challenge. And then the first time that we had an event here, it was the CBD Music and Arts Fest, where we had artists, musicians from the community do a 2-day festival, and then also art from people in the community that you can see throughout the build. You can go up top through the building and see some of it, or if you're brave, you can wander down into the caverns, but beware of sharks and alligators down there.
Canessa, I was so impressed when we talked about with Client 2.0, which is our new Decentraland client coming out, having ocean views. You were the first one I heard that was like, I'm going to make a property that looks out onto the ocean and like really gives you that oceanfront vibe. And so I'm so excited to finally be in La Cantina. Like, you had the vision, you were talking about it, and just to see all the love you put into it, all the art, and see it come to life and let everyone enjoy it is so exciting.
Well, I am landlocked in the middle of the mountains. It was 1 degree here this morning. It is cold. It is snowy. I love it. There's pine trees everywhere, but I definitely, this time of year, I want to go somewhere hot, and I cannot afford to go on a constant vacation. So I do sometimes just come here, and like the palm trees, they were a really big part of this. Like, I really wanted not just a tree that would stand there, but I wanted it animated, because to me that like the palm tree in the wind is just, I mean, that's just heaven right there. And so it was a stretch for me to learn how to make this, but I don't know, I'm really happy with, personally, I'm really happy with the fact that I could actually just animate a palm tree swaying in the breeze. That was a big challenge from what I'm used to doing. And of course I needed like, when I was trying to think of what to put on this build, like when the moment that I realized a lighthouse, like, of course, if you have an ocean, you got to have a lighthouse. Like there's been shipwrecks off this coast. It is, you know, there's been safety concerns. So I had to put in a lighthouse to make sure that all the pirates safely navigating these open seas can make their way home safely.
I'm living that, Canessa. That's brilliant. There's so many pirates right now in Decentraland. Yes. It's fantastic. I love this build. This is my first time in, and I feel like I'm going to be exploring here for hours, just experiencing all these touches. Like the palm trees, they're magical. Like I felt like there was breeze, and I was trying to work out like why do I feel like there's an atmosphere? And it's that work that you've put in, and having them move and having that into just that level of detail is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah. And Bay, oh, go ahead.
Canessa, one idea would be, I don't see, I couldn't see the beach that well, but you mentioned Argentina and you always think football. So I'm wondering if you had sort of a small little football tournament, like a foot volley tournament on the beach.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. We could have dulce de leche as our prize, and then it'll get heated and competitive.
All the dulce de leche. Send it all just to me. I love this. Bay, Canessa, question. Is the shark artwork from Django?
Yeah.
Oh, love that. If anyone, do you want to explain a little bit about that real quick?
If you run
not
downstairs, Janko is a photographer. I don't want to say National Geographic, but I know he's worked with Discovery Channel, not Nat Geo. Like he is the real deal. This guy swims with sharks. He's got a really crazy story about, I think if I remember correctly, the alligator down below, that was the closest he felt like he had come to being in big trouble, if I remember the story correctly. But yeah, he free dives and swims with sharks. So these are just amazing to see those. And I wanted to put the viewer in the water. You'll notice that you actually are walking in the water as you're viewing them. So I wanted you to be looking at giant sharks while you're half submerged in water, just to make it a little bit more fun. And
his artwork's amazing, and it was featured in Nat Geo, from, if I'm remembering from our conversation. It's really, really cool. So it's awesome that your build incorporated some of another community member's art too. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's actually, I think, 7 different artists. If you walk throughout the build, there's One Exist, Ruston, Make an NFT, Yolantis. The ceiling tile is actually Yolantis made that pattern just for this build to match with my colors and just kind of the theme of like a beach. So it's a work in progress, but I wanted something bright and cheery and warm so that I could warm up eventually.
I guess my big question is, someone who's as terrible as parkour as I am, how do I get up?
Okay, so there's a door over here by if you look at DJ Fitty, we just had him play 2 weeks ago. If you go to the right of those signs, there's a door, and then just start going up the steps. You'll see some artwork by another community member, SRJH. There's art on the 2nd floor. Keep going up to the 3rd floor. There's art by Ruston, Yolantis, and then keep going, and you'll find yourself at the lighthouse. It is very helpful if you put yourself in first person for the lighthouse.
Yeah.
It is a long ways up. I'm sorry. It's just, lighthouses are like that.
It's fantastic. I'm enjoying all the views on the way up as well.
Yeah, I actually was building it without ever deploying it because I wanted it to be a surprise. And so I actually never saw the view until the entire thing was done. And then the day that I deployed it, I was like blown away that it was way better than I had even imagined.
So cool. Thank you for building this. I plan to hang out here next time I'm procrastinating.
I also wanted the lighthouse to be kind of like blinding every time it goes by you, like a real lighthouse would be. And then every time I'm standing up here, it hits me and I'm like, like, why is it so bright? And then I'm like, oh, Canessa, you did that on purpose. So it's both intentional and I apologize at the same time.
I'm going to be back. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, and I would love to keep you on to get your views as a Decentraland ambassador as well, and talk a little bit about that towards the end of our tour here. If you are with us online, if you're following along at YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, we're going to be jumping now to the third build in our amazing Build a Talent tour in Decentraland. We're going to be jumping now to an incredibly experienced builder, DECENTRAPEPE, Risk. We're going to be going to minus 150, 56, minus 150, 56. And Risk, if you could tell us what we're about to jump to in the DECENTRAPEPE experience.
Let me jump there. 50.
All right, we will see you all there. There are a bunch of people also hanging out in Genesis Plaza. So I just want to say hey to Rumi, Kairos, Pale Ale, all of you that are on Plaza, come hang with us. We are making moves to negative 150, 56.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't jumped in before, this is your moment. There's an incredible community joining us on these tours. So if you're hanging back thinking this might be my first time to jump into Decentraland, do download the Decentraland desktop client, jump into Genesis 00, and then I'm sure if you ask any community member in Genesis where we are, you can join us. You can jump to the build we're about to explore now, which is the incredible DECENTRAPEPE experience. Risk, what are we about to see?
Yeah, I'm streaming our stream on the screen there. In the DECENTRAPEPE. So tomorrow will be the first event for DECENTRAPEPE, and DECENTRAPEPE is part of Rare Pepe card series. And here I want to give a hint about the Rare Pepe card, which first appeared in 2016 on the Bitcoin blockchain using the counterparty protocol, and become one of the first NFT before all those NFTs start coming after it. And where even it's mentioned in Decentraland white paper version 1. And yeah, the collection feature Pepe the Frog. I think many people here know it. Inspired digital artwork with over 1,700 or 2,000 cards, I think, issued so far by many artists. And Rare Pepe even gained recognition in early blockchain art history, influencing modern NFT that's all come after it. And yeah, in July in 2017, one of our OG in Decentraland community created Decentrapepe and applied for Rare Pepe, and it got approved and it started selling. And he didn't sell too much in 2017. And there is just 3 of the Pepe card got sold in the last 6 years. One of them was $60,000 or $70,000, just one of them, and I hold a couple of them. And yeah, as part of Rare Pepe series, it's some of history digital art in NFT. So now I brought this Decentrapepe world to life in Decentraland, and you can check it. It has 3-level interactive scenes that you can check. Ground floor, there is park on the ground floor, walking area, and there is air balloon. You can ride it. Make sure you ride the balloon because you can see the whole building in the balloon. You can jump down. You can take the balloon from down, or you can take it from the stage where we are now. And yeah, and there is gallery showing case Decentrapepe card. I think I will be adding some more Rare Pepe cards in the future in the gallery, but for now it's just for Decentrapepe cards. And there is a big screen up where we are seeing here where I will be hosting the events. And tomorrow I will have the first event with Stony Eyes DJ, we will have some prizes, mana and live music tomorrow. So make sure to come tomorrow. And yeah, more event will be coming to this building this year. We'll try to make an ecosystem around Decentrapepe, make it alive somehow again. Maybe one day we can see it in Genesis Plaza because we have some, I think, Satoshi Nakamoto in our Genesis Plaza. So maybe we can see it one day there. And yeah, that's a brief about the building.
Risk, the views on the top are so good. I
Yeah,
just went to that top bay where you see the big frog, the Pepe head, and the views from up there. I mean, who knew there were so many good builds with ocean views? I love that you guys are really leaning into the waterfront property vibe across the board. And I'm like, you've made this multi-level, so like when you're up there, you get these awesome views, and it kind of feels like you're alone, but it's great.
yeah. It's
It's so fantastic. And what
yeah.
was your favorite bit, Risk, to build on this experience?
On the beginning, I just wanted to do the gallery down and some area, but then I said I want to start making some events. So I extended to 3 levels, not just the park down and the gallery. So I didn't want to make the events in the gallery. So I make the stage up, and I didn't want the stage to be just flying alone. So I made those stones around that the stage will stand on them. So yeah,
It's super cool. And you mentioned a gallery. Again, with my level of
down.
parkour, how do I get that? In the balloon?
Jump down. You can jump down.
There we are. I've jumped onto some rocks. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there is. Yes.
This is so cool.
Wait, what?
So,
I didn't realize that.
I know. This
This
is amazing.
super cool.
Yeah.
So, Riz, should I head to the green chap on the floating island? Is that the gallery?
The gallery, you need to go up to the pyramid. There is the pyramid. Go up, and you will be down the gallery.
Okay. Apologies to everyone watching my pitiful parkour again.
No, it's big. It's big. It's like around like 30 land, so you need some time to go
Wow.
around. Yeah. I'm building around here. I'm building 350 land around this area. So make sure you visit that one day. I am building lots of things around. I have transportation, train on the other side. I'm building around 300 land or more here in
That's
this area.
incredible. And what's your
Yeah.
vision for the
Amazing.
lands?
I hope we can monetize it at some point, some games or something like drag and drop games, something like this. But yeah, I'm preparing for the future. I think the VR is coming soon, so I think this area will be really nice. So I'm been working in this area around 7 months, 8 months. I still have like maybe 150 land empty. I'm aiming to build 400 land in total. So far, I built like 200 land somehow, 220 more or less. So yeah, doing my best. But if you want some quality, it takes time.
Of course.
Yeah,
How many hours do you think the DECENTRAPEPE experience took?
it took around like 3 months. Daily work like 5 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, because
This is incredible.
yeah,
That's amazing.
I edit it a lot. I start with something, then I develop it, then I develop it. So yeah, it took a while until I reached this point. So yeah, I didn't know where I'm heading. So it took me a while to figure out what to do, the balloon thing, the area, the park, the things, the gallery, and the all the rare Pepe is built on counterparty on Bitcoin blockchain, so it's not connected to Decentraland. It's hard to connect it. So I made them to be linked. So you click the card and it take you to the Rare Pepe website to buy them.
Oh,
There is,
amazing.
there is only one now to buy, only one available to buy on the for DECENTRAPEPE, just only one. So yeah,
I
I'm
just
loving all.
rode the hot air. I just rode the hot air balloon. Have you done that yet, Bay? It's so
I,
fun.
you know me, I'm just falling off everything. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the standard.
I am impressed I got in and I got in the hot air balloon and that's such a like peaceful little experience that you built in there. That was really, really cool.
yeah.
I really like all the Easter eggs as well. I don't know if everyone can see on my screen, but the teleports to go down and go up, they've got they've got Pepe's hands.
I love them. Also, as
Yeah.
They're
someone that's
amazing.
not great at parkour, I just want to say to all the builders out there, these little in-world teleports are so amazing. Thank you for those.
Yeah, really nice.
And explain to me the statues here, the rather maybe a little bit scary looking statues that are the sides around here. Risk, what's the story with these guys?
Which one? The Pepe one?
They're kind of shrouded. They're floating shrouded statues that are within the
Oh,
gallery.
whoa. I didn't even see those yet.
The inside the gallery.
Yes, they're sort of
Uh,
shrouded.
yeah, it's related. It's related to some other Pepe card. I'm preparing to add more rare Pepe cards. So some other rare Pepe card, they have this style, the creepy one. Yes,
Yeah, the creepy one.
the
It's
creepy one.
amazing.
Yeah,
So you have these sentinels around your gallery in the creepy Pepe style, with the floating heads above your sculpture tables as well. It's amazing. Again,
nice.
I know the build that I'm going to have to spend hours in. This is.
I know. I'm like, where should I go next? I keep like running around like a crazy person in here. I'm like, oh, the view from the top. Oh, the hot air balloon. I didn't even get to that cool little like parkour you did, Bay. But this is fun. I see our team messaging, like the whole content team's in here playing around together. So really great work, Risk, on this. This is really fun.
Thank you.
We've
Thank
got
you.
messages coming in from LinkedIn as well. Zreen says, very impressive. Love the hot air balloon transportation views. Very creative space at DECENTRAPEPE.
Lovely, lovely.
And Zan saying, these are incredible builds. We've got Yogi Migo saying, totally. There's a lot of people enjoying all of these spaces. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm seeing some on in Decentraland as well. This is amazing. How did you do this? I love this. So fun over here. Amazing build. So really great work, everyone.
Great. happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So anyone that's been inspired, we've got 3 things to do next. Take your selfie.
Yes.
So take your selfie with your date on the tour, share it on socials, tagging out Decentraland, and you could be part of the selfie competition. Number 2, go to Discord once this tour is finished and think about whether you're going to vote for any of these 4 builds in the Community Choice Award. Remember, we're going to have a second tour in just a couple of hours' time to see the 4 extra builds. So we've got 8 builds in total nominated for the Community Choice Award. Those are all going to be on Discord for you to vote for your favorite. And finally, if you have got inspired and you want to start building in Decentraland, go to decentraland.org, hit the creator button, and you can get started. Right. Well, I think we're going to jump now to our final build. We don't have KJ with us, so we're going to do our own analysis and apologize to KJ if we're going in the wrong direction. It's going to be kind of an art interpretation session in the Rapture gallery. So we're going to be going to, the coordinates are -88, -66, and this is the build by Low Poly Models World, the amazing KJ. We're going to go to -88, -66, the Rapture gallery. So we can all jump directly there. Disco Cat, if you want to join the conversation again, you're very welcome to join our analysis of the gallery. It's turning into an art gallery tour as we jump into Rapture Gallery. If you haven't already joined us, we are on our last 10 to 15 minutes of this first Builder Talent tour on the Builder Talent Trail. The maps are all at decentraland.org/blog. So if you think you'd love to catch up with the builds we've already seen, check out there. You can jump directly to the builds from the blog post. You can see the full map to follow on your own pace and time. And to kind of explain one of the reasons that we're doing the trails is really to highlight both the creators that are building in Decentraland these incredible installations, but also to highlight the fact that in Decentraland, it's a virtual open world. So you can run between these builds. We haven't, for the sake of time and the fact that Risk is building on 350 parcels. So
we'll be here all day. We'll be here all day.
But if you want to do a more leisurely tour between the builds, the maps are on the blog, decentraland.org/blog. The map is there, so you can take a whole half day, wander between the builds, and see the sites between all of these incredible installations. So we're entering Rapture Gallery now. And Kim, I'm going to nominate you as our art critic as we go into Rapture. And tell me what you're seeing.
Awesome. I'm actually just loading back in. I was reading all the comments. Here, so let me get back in. But I know I did my research and I was reading, and so I loved that she said this was to showcase art collector Von Mies's extraordinary selection of AI and generative art. I think that's so fun to be able to come into a space and like experience the art. I know art studios in real life, to me, in the physical world, are very flat, and so the idea of building a gallery around what you're seeing and being able to experience it in that 3D world, even though the art itself is 2D for this one, is so fun. And so if you're heading up, I love this one you're coming up on here. If you click there, this design with all the blue and the colors, it's just so fun yet simple. I don't want to say simple and offend the artist, but simple in the idea of these basic shapes coming together in such a unique way to make something so beautiful. So I just love walking around here. I mean, when people say to us, like, what can I do in Decentraland if there's not a party? I'm always like, visit the art galleries. There's such amazing art. And this is just a beautiful display of one. I am trying to jump back in world so I can meet you and walk around and look at specific pieces. I accidentally closed it as I was responding to people's tweets.
Well, I think this is a pretty high-level collection, to be honest.
It's
I think
beautiful.
Well, not only beautiful, but I don't know if you know, but these ones that we are facing right now are part of Fidenza by Tyler Hobbs.
I do.
It's one of the.
They are not in my art collection. They're a little above my art collecting budget.
Yeah, so he was one of the top. Maybe a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit more. Mm-hmm. They were one of the biggest. What would we call it? The biggest art collections on Ethereum. So yeah, the Fidenza by Tyler Hobbs is kind of an icon of crypto art over the last few years. And we've got some incredible pieces from that collection. I'm going to be wandering around and see if I can spot any other huge heavy hitters from the world of crypto art in this gallery. There are 3 floors, I think, in the gallery. So if you are exploring with us, take a look, post in the comments if you see any of the other incredible artists that have been part of the crypto narrative over the last few years. It's a kind of another one of these ones where I sort of want to spend a good couple of hours looking at this work and wandering and seeing almost inside this collector's absolute specialism in some of the biggest artists coming out of crypto over the last few years.
Mm-hmm. And for anyone, I was just going to do a reminder on the coordinates because I see a bunch of people in Genesis. So I'm just going to, we are at -88, -66. So if you're listening on X or YouTube, come join us, jump in. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Canessa, Risk, are you in with us? Would you like to talk about what you're seeing?
I love the Art Deco. Oh, I think is my mic on. I love the Art Deco feel of this. Like it really captures, I don't know, the 20s, 30s, yet it's in the metaverse and totally digital. So I really love how they, KJ mixed those two kind of like an older aesthetic with new cutting edge digital. I think she did that really well. The turntables up here by the DJ are gold. They look amazing. So it's little details like that. She didn't miss anything.
She never does.
No. And there's been some incredible parties hosted here as well. We had one for Decentraland Music Festival. There was an after party. I think there was one at an earlier festival this year as well. I know that KJ's been hosting some really, really extraordinary events over the last few years. If anyone has not come across KJ's work before, she's one of our experience builders and did a lot of the tutorials that onboarded a lot of the 3D creators into Decentraland. I know when I started out as a Decentraland builder, my first block style installations for the Art Collective World Tour were all created using KJ's tutorials on YouTube. So huge shout out to KJ.
Oh, of course. But Bay, I just went to the rooftop and there is a rave. There's a party happening on the rooftop up here. So if you go to the back of the build, you can go towards the elevator. There's a different buttons you could press for where to go. Back there. Yep. I just went to the roof and there's a whole party up here. Who knew? I thought we were hanging out down at the art.
What I find Disco Cat, what I find interesting is the diversity of things you can do, in the sense of you have Canessa's beach experience, relaxing. You know, you have the parties, you have the art, you have the futuristic build and amazing Pepe of the NFTs and everything. So I think it's just interesting. It's not a one-trick pony here at Decentraland. A lot of things you can do. I think Canessa said that when she's in, and I have in a cold environment too in New York, but you know, when you're in the cold and she just wants to relax a few minutes, she can transport herself to the beach. But yet there are times we can go to a party like this. So it's interesting, the diversity of experiences on
Totally. I think that's so true. I love with the open source nature of it and kind of that traversability, you could just walk around and see like such varying experiences. You could run into, like you said, a disco rave happening. You could look at some art. You could see a big Pepe. Like you could go on a roller coaster. I've seen that one. We can have a snowball fight. Like it's just so many different things that can all exist in the same world. And you're able to just go back and forth is so much fun.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes to go. So public service announcements from this side. One, get your selfies. I know we've got some people asking in chat, please be my date. Please, like if you want a date, post in chat, bring yourselves together, do the selfies, post them on socials in the Valentine spirit, and the amazing Dana will be selecting the prize winners for the social selfie prize for this Builder Talent Trail. If you wish to vote, go to Discord and you will see that there are 8 builds nominated for the Community Choice Award on the Builder Talent Trail. You can choose your favorite. I wouldn't choose just yet if I were you, because we've just seen the first 4 builds out of the 8. You can join us again in just over 2 hours' time. So we're going to be going on a second build with 4 more incredible builders from the Decentraland community. We're going to be checking out some even more diverse installations as we're walking around. And if you are wanting to get involved with Decentraland, go to decentraland.org, download the client and get involved if you would like as a creator. There's a whole section on the website telling you how to get started. But before we close, I would kind of like to ask that question to our amazing builders here. I mean, we've got sort of 3 of the most experienced builders in Decentraland creating these amazing experiences for us all. And so my question would be, what would be your advice, your kind of number 1 piece of advice for someone looking to start creating in Decentraland for the first time? Disco Cat, would you like to jump in first?
Yeah, well, I was pretty transparent that I worked with Carlos. And I guess my point is that it can be overwhelming. Like I mentioned, even I have an engineering degree and I'm very experienced in crypto. I'm not really a graphics art person or designer, but I found someone to work with, and I think we built an amazing space. So sometimes partnership is important. You may have an idea and some ability, and I built it initially, and then he just took it to the next level. So I think it's important to not be scared to intimidated to sort of jump in and partner with people.
That's fantastic advice.
Yeah, I think that's so true. There's so many different skill sets within our community. Some people are wearable builders, scene builders, party planners, and producers. So being able to collaborate across one another and utilize your individual skill sets has been so amazing to watch. I know so many people are here are willing to teach one another and learn from one another, which is the beauty of the DCL fam.
Canessa, can I bring you in?
I think for me, I was intimidated when I first started trying to learn Blender, and that was about 2 years ago. And I tried and gave up many times. So I finally just told myself I'm going to learn one new thing a day, not two, only one. And I'm going to just get really good at that one thing. And then I started writing that down. So each day it was like I made a collider, I made a rectangle, because I think that the human brain just learns better when you focus on the smaller steps. And I got to the point where I was chomping at the bit, and then sometimes I would learn 3 new things in a day. But that is way more attainable than the infamous donut tutorial. It's overwhelming. So I think just start small and get really good at making a rectangle. Become the expert of making a rectangle, and from there, I think it'll be a lot easier to make stuff that you want. And ask for help. Like, ask for help. I had so many people help me along the way. So there's really good resources in our community that are happy to help.
I think it explains why there's so many donut references in Decentraland as well. We all went through that tutorial. So you can see where we've got, I'm juggling donuts, JJ64 is juggling donuts in world right now. But yes, it's great advice, Canessa. Risk, can I come to you?
Yeah, I think you need to stay. Everyone who start building now or building or he built for a while, you need to stay updated, because in this market, if you just stopped for a while, you will be outdated. And there is every day new tools, new thing to make it faster and to stay up with the market, as we see with AI things. And somehow things getting easier, but you need to keep updated with those tools, because otherwise you will not be able to use those tools. So yeah, just keep doing what you are doing and stay in the market, stay with those tools. And as Kanisa said, every day you should learn, even if something small, it can build up with in the future. Yeah, that's the only way, I think.
So for staying updated and very quickly, how do you do that? Where do you find your information for staying updated?
Well, the community, YouTube things, yeah, probably you see. For me, I learned the most from the foundation events. They do really good things, like really. So I start get closer to the when they do event or stage or building. I get
Mhm.
close to it and see how they build it. So I try to imitate it and figure out how they do it, because they don't put tutorial for how they do it. So I always try to see how they doing and try imagine things and doing them. So this is the way for me. But yeah, if you are a beginner, there is other things to do, like to learn step by step or small things with the time. And yeah,
And Risk, that's a great idea. Maybe post a big event. We could host a like how it was done with our content team type of thing
yeah,
after the event and explain, answer
I
any questions. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I learned a lot from the lighting things. Like they do really the theme
Yeah.
of the foundation. They do really lighting things, and I start do this like in many of my buildings, and many people reach me saying that your light is good. I didn't tell them I inspired by the foundation. Now I'm announcing it.
We
But
appreciate that. I'll
no, I
definitely,
appreciate you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll talk to Shibu, who runs our content team, and see if
yeah,
after our next big event, after Fashion Week, which is coming up in April, that maybe we can do a behind the
yeah,
scenes how it was done for our core builders, just to share some of those trade secrets.
yeah. Definitely salute for Chipo. Like he's doing great job since I met him in 2019-18. So he did really good job since then. And really good building. I really enjoy the foundation builds and just to go and see the architecture of them. So it's really good job. So yeah,
We have unfortunately run out of time. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, Canessa, Risk, Disco Cat, and experience your builds firsthand on this incredible tour. Thank you for everybody that's joined us in world and online and across the socials to be part of our first Build a Talent Trail. We have got another tour starting at 10 my time, so in 2 hours. Closing words, Kim, from the first of our tours this incredible evening.
Just thank you to all the creators who are participating. It makes doing these and just putting in the work behind the scenes a lot more fun. Obviously, Bay has been doing so much behind the scenes to make this possible. So thank you, Bay, for bringing this idea of our trails. We have more trails coming up. All of that you can find on the blog. So lots of good things. Just stay tuned with the blog, sign up for the newsletter, and we will see you in 2 hours.
See you in 2 hours, everybody. Thank you again.